Hello and welcome to today's AM Language live video, live lesson actually. It is Friday, it is hot, it is sunny, and it's the end of the week. I hope you have all had a jolly good week, and yeah, it's the weekend. I'm just going to share today's video. And then we can begin as normal. Right, can I find it on my own? Okay, I'm glad you guys have already found it. You guys are much quicker than I am to find the video pop up. Okay, so we have Leondina. Hi, hello, Lindine. Hello, Leondina. Welcome to today's lesson. And Irina as well. Welcome. Lovely to see you here. I'm glad the video has come. I'm glad you guys have found the video. I still can't find the video on my phone. I look forward to when I actually I'm better with this technology. And here we go. Finally found it. Stefano, good afternoon as well. And Arena F, you too. Good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson. So I'm going to begin with a question, actually, which is, what do you think lost for words means? So if someone says, I'm lost for words, does this mean, A, I don't know what to say because I don't have enough language? Is it B, I don't know what to say because I can't remember the words? Or C, I don't know what to say because I am shocked. Or very surprised. So those are the three options when we say I'm lost for words. Which one do you think is the correct meaning? Leondina was very quick in there with answer C. Arena also agrees that it's C. Arena F agrees with you that it is also C. Okay, right, excellent. Well, you're off to a fantastic start because the answer is C. It's when we don't know what to say because we are shocked. We are very surprised. And that is going to be the subject of today's lesson. How to talk about how to talk about things when we are very surprised. We have heard, yeah, we can say I'm speechless as well, which would be a synonym of it as well. So today what I want to look at is more conversation, and most of the time in these lessons, because the way it is on YouTube, we probably spend a bit more time looking at accuracy, but today I want to look at fluency, being able to talk about different topics, but where there are things that surprise you or might surprise you about certain things. Now, the next thing I would like you guys to think about, though, is this. If we use the term, I'm lost for words, do you think we often use this in a positive way or a negative way most of the time? Do you think this is something used in a positive way or a negative way? What do you guys think? Or maybe both. I mean, that is also another, that's also another option. Maybe we can use them both in a positive and a negative way. And then we'll go in and we'll actually discuss one or two things. We'll start off by just seeing what you guys have recently been surprised by, and we'll develop this in an actual conversation where we get to explore our opinions as well. So I just want to make sure, guys, do you think this phrase, I'm lost for words, is it positive, negative, or both? We can use it both positive and negative. I think we use it mainly in a negative sense. Okay, let's see if others agree with you. You can say both, though. I suppose it's got a negative meaning, says Stefano. Okay. What I can say to you guys is technically, an arena has come in with both. Okay, no one's come in with just positive. Now, I would say this, guys. Technically, we can use this both positively and negatively. However, I would say the majority of the time, I probably myself use it more often with negative than positive news. However, we can use this in a positive way. So, for instance, I was lost for words when I saw her. I really didn't expect to see her. So this would be an example of positive. Negative would be, I was lost for words. I really didn't expect that behavior from him. Okay, so we can use it in both a positive and a negative way. And it's the same with speechless. So to say I am speechless, like Stefano said, that's a great way of, that's a great synonym, sorry, that's another way of saying it as well. So now let's dive in a little bit. We're going to have, what we're going to do is we're just going to look at some different situations whereby maybe when we first heard something, we were lost for words, for example. And one of the things I'm going to look at here is the fluency of the conversation. The question is here, can we keep a conversation going? Can we keep things flowing? So here we're really looking more at fluency. Now, obviously we can't speak. So we're going to look at some WhatsApp. We're going to take this from a WhatsApp approach. Okay, so we're going to imagine that we are on WhatsApp and we are talking about something and we want to express our surprise about something as well. We want to try and also talk about our opinions about something. So there's still opportunity to look at some new vocabulary as well. I think there's also an opportunity as well to try and paraphrase one or two things. So it's a good type of thing when we look at fluency, whereby we are looking at meaning, we are looking at trying to keep the conversation going, but it's a great opportunity to try and bring everything or bring things in together as well. Now, don't forget, guys, because this is going to be a WhatsApp style conversation. Don't forget you can use abbreviations. So let me see if some of you guys can remember what some of these abbreviations are. So we've got B-C, for example. Let me see who here remembers what B-C stands for. At the same time, let's also see. Well done, Leondina. You remember because we've got what others do we have actually? IMO. Do you guys remember what IMO is? Let's see. I probably accidentally said it as I was trying to remember what it was, what the abbreviation was. IMO. I'll give you a clue. IMO. I think the wine was good. IMO. I think the wine was bad. Okay. No? Okay. IMO, in my opinion. Okay, so those are two ones that we have the opportunity to try and use when trying to have a WhatsApp style conversation. In my opinion, yes. Well done, Stefano. Yes. Let's see if I can remember any more myself. Actually, let's go with this one. This is a good one to know. BRB. Do any of you remember what BRB was? And there's also BTW as well. Okay. And then we'll just now get in. And if any of you, and if any of you, okay, so be right back. Well done, Leondina. And what about BTW? BTW. I'll give you a clue. So by the, then we just need one more word. By the way, well done, Leondina. Excellent. Okay, so we've got some good ones, and I'm not sure if I can't remember if I actually looked at this one, but just in case, what I'll do is we've got OTOH. I don't think I looked at this one last time, but it stands for on the other hand. Okay, and I think we did look at POV. Point of something beginning with V, and that will play a part in today's conversation. Okay, so this last one here, point of view. So POV is point of view. Well done, Leondina. Okay, so let's begin. First things first, I just want you guys to tell me of any topics that you have ended up feeling lost for words, that you've been lost for words. So really surprised. So I'm going to give you one example, and we are going to try and actually have a conversation about some of these issues that we might have that we might feel or have found ourselves in a position where we can say, wow, I'm lost for words. Okay, so the first one I'm going to say, I'm lost for words. Okay, I'm lost for words when it comes to the reaction to masks, to wearing masks. Okay. Evelina says, hello, sorry today I'm late. Don't worry, Evelina. Thank you so much for joining. So this is one example. I am lost for words when it comes to the reaction to wearing masks, especially when I see the news from the US. So this for me would be one example in the news that I would say, okay, I'm lost for words. I'm very surprised by the reaction. I don't really know what to say, to be honest, at the time. So this for me would be one example. Let me know about you guys. Is there anything that you have found recently where you have felt I'm lost for words? I'm really surprised. And we can try and actually have a conversation about some of these issues. So this is an opportunity for more of a fluency discussion session. Unfortunately, we can't do it verbally, but we can do it in the style of a WhatsApp chat as well. Imagine you're with some friends and you're talking about some issues. So feel free to share anything about when you might say, I'm lost for words. Okay, so I'm really surprised by something. There's a few things actually I would say I'm lost for words with. I could go in with quite a lot of things actually. I would say I'll give you another example actually. So this one I'm going to actually just say, and feel free to try and write your own ones, okay? But I'll write it as well. So last week I was lost for words. My cousin bought a little boat. Okay, so nothing special. And bought a little boat, and he leaves the boat in this little bay. Okay, so it's quite close to him, and it's quite safe. But last week, what am I writing? But last week, he went. He wanted to go on his boat because it was a nice day, and he found that someone had what's the I tell you what, this is a good word, tampered. Okay, so played around with, and this is negative. Okay, negative. So this is a good word to use. Tampered with the boat, and he found it washed up on the rocks. Okay, now washed up is a really good bit of language. When you find a boat on land, it's washed up. Or if you find anything that is in the sea on land and it's not meant to be, then it's washed up. So for instance, you can say, I found a whale washed up on the shore, for example. You would also say a whale is beached. So there's some good new language there. You've got tampered. Tampered is a really good word. Anything can be tampered with, like your laptop. If someone tries to use your laptop without your permission, tries to break into your laptop, break into your phone, break into your house, and you can see that they were trying to do something and they might break something, you can see that someone has tampered with it. You might sometimes find people have tried to tamper with your car. I don't know if any of you have ever had problems with people trying to break into your car, but sometimes you might see the door not right, the window broken, and you can see that someone has tampered with your car. So tampered is a really good word. Now, you might also find it when it comes to a suitcase. So with a suitcase, when you get your suitcase back, you might sometimes find someone tried to open the suitcase. The lock doesn't work very well. Someone tampered with your suitcase. So tampered is a really good word to know. Arena says, I lost, oh yeah, I am. So you need to, don't forget about the verb to be. I am or I was. Lost for words when I found out about the case of COVID at the White Party. Yeah, when I heard that, Arena, I too was lost for words. That was, I think, I mean, look, I was lost for words, and I'm not going to use the word worried. I want to use a different word. I want to introduce a new word, or maybe a new word. So a good synonym of worried is concerned. So I was concerned when I heard about the White Party issue. I was lost for words. I think it's definitely a problem when trying to organize things, parties. I mean, in reality, okay, the White Party was a specific party at the Radisson, I think, hotel. But when it comes to something like COVID, it can be anywhere. It could be at a restaurant. It could be at a cafe, a shop. I think the reality is that until we have a vaccine, um, I think there are going to be more situations we find ourselves in where you will find that you have been to a place and someone has also been there who was later tested positive for COVID. So it's a real problem. It's a really, really big problem. But I don't think we are going to be able to solve any of this until we have a vaccine. So I think that's the reality of it. So yes, we've got two stories so far, three stories. We've got one about the reaction to people wearing masks. Let me know if you've heard any stories about people wearing masks. I've heard some very strange stories in America to this. We have the story about my cousin and someone tampering with his boat. And then we also have Arena with her story about the White Party when she found out that some people had been to, when she found out that there was a COVID case at the White Party. So these are good. We're off to a good start here. Let me know if you guys can think of anything else. There's plenty of topics to talk about. There's always the topics at the moment, such as Black Lives Matter. That is one topic. There's the situation in Hong Kong. I don't know if you guys know very much about that. There's also okay. At the moment, I'm just thinking about negatives. Can I think of a positive? Maybe a new Netflix series. Maybe something happened in a Netflix series and you were lost for words. Maybe you're really surprised by what happened in the movie or in the TV series. Actually, speaking of lost for words with TV series, Games of Thrones. Okay. Let me know if any of you are a fan of this show. Okay, Games of Thrones. Okay, is anyone a fan of Games of Thrones? Did anyone like watching Games of Thrones? And if so, were any of you lost for words at how they ended Games of Thrones? I know that the director Lorraine at Amlanguage, she was lost for words in the way they chose to end Games of Thrones. The director does like a Netflix series, and she was lost for words. Actually, I should say there are other options as well to lost for words. We've got okay, so we've got lost. I was lost for words, but don't you can use I was speechless. I was taken aback as well. I was taken aback. That's another option as well. So don't feel that you need to stick just to the sentence lost for words. Okay, so we've got a few things. Right. So feel free to come in with another story. Actually, do any of you know any of the students maybe who went to the white party? Do you live with any of them? Were you sharing a class with any of them? Luckily, I think it's been dealt with well, and they are now today or tomorrow. I know that most of them will be going along for a COVID test. Hopefully, everything turns out that it's we don't have anything to worry about. So let's be positive about that. Okay, I'm just going to actually, whilst we're waiting for you, let's see if we can come up with any more stories. Actually, I'm going to see if you guys can complete this little structure for me. Okay, so okay. Okay, so here I'm going to use a film example. Now, you guys have to try and complete this, but I just want to see what you end up doing. So I know we're focusing on fluency. Nonetheless, there's always the opportunity. Um, there's always the opportunity to try and still develop one or two things. But before I do, let's read what Stefano has to say. So Stefano says, off the top of my head, I would say that I'm usually lost for words whenever people are impolite, rough to me, and generally behave kindly. That's what really makes me feel okay, right. There's quite a few things in there. Let's break that down for a second. So, off the top of my head, good start. I would say that I'm usually lost for words whenever people are impolite, rough, rough. You probably say rough, rough to me. Rough to me, I suppose it has the right meaning, but you could probably say rough towards me. I think that would probably be the better preposition, rough towards me. And and I generally behave okay, and I generally behave kindly. Okay, I see what you've gone for here. I think in terms of this, because we started off with two negatives here, Stefano. So I'm going to go into accuracy for one moment. We've got impolite, which is a negative, rough with a negative, and then we've gone with and. Now, the thing with and is that if you're using and, the reader is going to expect you to continue the pattern of negative or continue the pattern of positive. If you're going to change from negative to positive or positive to negative, you need to choose a different linking word. And I think the linking word here that's going to make more sense is probably because I generally behave kindly. Because I generally behave okay, I think we can leave that for now. I'm just thinking of other ways how you could say that you act in a kind manner, because that's a lot of ways of doing it. Anyway, I want to focus on this because, okay, and that makes a bit more sense. That's what really makes me feel taken aback. So that's what really makes me feel taken aback. Okay. Okay, yeah, Stefano, if you were to choose to use even, yeah, yeah, that could in the right context that could probably work. So you could say I'm usually lost for words. Um, whenever people are impolite. You know what else here? Because you're only giving two examples, so impolite or rough towards me, even if I behave kindly towards them. I think that's what you're looking for there. So what I would do is, because you're only giving two options there, two things. So impolite, you've got impolite or rough towards me. I think actually, instead of rough, I'm going to just go with this word, hostile. I think it's probably covers a wider range of people being rough to you, because rough is usually a physical thing, but hostile could be both physical and verbal towards me, even if I am being kind towards them, for example. So, Stefano, well done. I think, yeah, I would just make those the two biggest changes. Add or, include or in between impolite and hostile. And by all means, go with because or go with even. I think even if. And that's a pretty good grammar structure as well, even if. Now, Leondina says, I'm speechless when it happened. The murder of George Floyd. I can't believe that racism is still so strong in our society. Yeah, that was, I think a lot of people were left speechless. I don't know, did any of you see that video as well? Watching the video, I didn't watch all of it because I found it too difficult to watch, if I'm being honest. It's very uncomfortable seeing someone, you know, with their hands in their pocket, with their knee on someone's neck. I was definitely lost for words when I saw that. What I would say here is, Leondina, just have a little think about your fluency wise, great. Meaning wise, excellent. I would say just have a little think about the relationship between your two sentences. You've started off with I'm speechless, which is present, but then you go on to talk about a past event. So I would say just have a little think about that verb to be. Other than that, absolutely, yes. I think that the thing with on the subject of racism, I think one of the things that here's a good phrase. Okay, one of the things that has come to light now, come to light. Really good bit of language. Okay, because it means something that has been shown. Okay, so it was in the dark and it's now in the light. Now, I think speaking about 2016, I think in 2016 we had Donald Trump winning the presidency of the United States. And in the UK, we had Brexit, and then we've had two different Conservative governments in the UK. And I would say over the past 4 years, I think what has come to light is the amount of racism that actually exists. I think in 2000, I would say before 2016, I don't think people were maybe as vocal. I don't think the idea of people being or acts of racism was as common, maybe, or maybe they were and the news just didn't report it very much. But I think we hear about it a lot more than before. So I think I think it has come to light that maybe there is still a lot of racism more than maybe we thought. And in some parts as well, anti-Semitism as well. So these things, actually, here's another good phrase. It's raised its ugly head. Now, this is a really good bit of language here, and I would like you guys to I want to encourage you, can you think of anything that's raised its ugly head? When we say something has raised its ugly head, it means it's something that was quiet, maybe even gone, but it's come back. Now, an example would be I'm going to take an extreme example. So if you take the idea of, let's say, anti-Semitism, the type of anti-Semitism that you found in the last century, for example, you would say perhaps there was a time after that where people were not so anti-Semitic, partly because of events like the Holocaust and all the rest of it. Nazi and the Nazis, for example, and you might think to yourself, okay, that is now in the past, that's history. But then history repeats itself, or aspects of history begin to repeat itself. So something that you thought was ugly and in the past comes back. Well, when you see something that was ugly in the past, but it comes back into the present, that's when you can say it's raised its ugly head. So maybe, guys, can you think of anything recently that has raised its ugly head? So Leondina, you used the example of racism. Yeah, racism has raised its ugly head again. I think, actually, you know what? I think one of the things with coronavirus, I would say, but it never went away though, so I can't use it as an example. I was going to talk about single-use plastics, but that's just been an ongoing problem. But yeah, let me know if you can think of anything that has raised its ugly head, or that something has, a truth actually has come to light. These are good phrases, actually. And I would encourage you guys to try and use them. Actually, I'm going to write a sentence. And I would like to see what you guys do to try and complete this sentence. And you will have the opportunity to use one of these phrases. Let's see what you guys go for. Okay, I'm going to expand on it just a little bit. Let's go with when I. Okay, let's see what you guys go with here. Can you try and complete this? You need to think about your verb to be in the beginning, and whatever you go with the verb to be, you need to think about the next one with C. Does it need to be past or present? And then you've got, okay, you've got the abbreviation because I didn't expect to see the evil witch, something her, something head. So here, there's an opportunity to use one of the phrases that we've looked at today. So have a little look at it, and we'll see what you guys go with to finish that off. And that will take us into the last 5 minutes. Fluency it's always, I think, fluency with on YouTube can be a bit difficult. It's not the same as in the classroom when you get to speak, because It's easier to talk. I do think, I mean, the reason why I tend to focus more on accuracy with YouTube is because it's easier to focus on accuracy rather than just fluency. I think with fluency, I have to think a little bit of how we can try and develop fluency a little bit more on in these live videos, actually. So it can be in these live YouTube lessons. I have to have a think of the best way to approach it. But yeah, we've got this little thing on the side here in the live chat. I lost for words when the ending of the film because I didn't expect to see the evil her head. So that's what you need to try and complete. Now we have tended to we focus more on negatives than positives today. But I did want to finish off with a slightly what I would say a film rather than an actual one. Oh, so Stefano has come in with another one. So during quarantine, people were supposed to be more friendly towards each other. And that's what I really hoped for. Unfortunately, when it comes to human nature, egoism, all right, you've written egoism, raises its ugly head. Okay, right. So unfortunately, when it comes to human nature, egoism raises its ugly head. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to tell you well done for using raises its ugly head. Okay, I think that's really good. Really, really good. Well done. And I think the meaning of what you've written is good as well. I like the fluency to it is actually really good. So well done, Stefano. Great work. Leondina, okay, so she has written, I was lost for words when I saw the ending of the film because I didn't expect to see the evil witch raised her ugly head. Okay, so this is we've got, don't forget, we've got I didn't expect to see the evil witch raise her ugly head. So because you've gone in, because there's didn't, I can see why you've gone with the past raised. However, because this part of the sentence is, I didn't expect to see the evil witch raise her ugly head. So in this case, we're talking about what happened in a film. We've gone in with the negative form of didn't. So both see and raise is going to have to be in its normal form. It's first. They're going to need to be in their first form rather than second form. But other than that, excellent. So 9 out of 10 for that one, Leondina. Really well done. Excellent. Okay, guys. So really well done for today. Thank you so much for joining. If there are any specific topics you would like me to focus on next week, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to deliver lessons on any personal requests. I do know that there is going to be level tests will start again next week. They'll start on Tuesday. They'll start on Tuesday. Unfortunately, we've only given intermediate 3 weeks rather than the normal 4 weeks before the next test. But that's because the first round of tests were just to see where everyone was after the COVID period or the lockdown period. We now need to try and get back to the normal routine of students having a level test every 4 to 5 weeks. And that's why we've chosen to start next week. This week there weren't any level tests, so we're going to use this as an opportunity to get back to the routine that we need to have in order for students to end up having a level test regularly once a month. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful weekend. A special thank you to Leondina and Stefano and Irina for your input. Also, thank you to Irina F, as well as Evelina for joining as well. to all of to those of you who are watching this maybe later, thank you so much. Make sure you guys, you like the video, and share the channel, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you next Monday at 4 o'clock. Have a great weekend. You too, Irina, thank you very much. You too, Evelina. You too, Leondina. You too, Stefano, sorry. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and bye for now.